show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now just when we thought the case of young Dolph being shot and unalive back in 2021 at Makita's cookie shop located in Memphis was over, after we seen Cornelius Smith and Straight Drop aka Justin Johnson receive life without the possibility of parole. However, we've been sadly mistaken, because every time you turn around there's something new that's coming out about this case, and today we're going to talk about this alleged hit list that shows that it was a certain amount of money placed on all the Paper Route Empire artists that was in young Dolph's crew. So long story short, they're saying that it wasn't just a bag placed on young Dolph's head. However, it was a bag placed on numerous of Paper Route Empire artists. It just so happens that young Dolph had the highest wager, consisting of $100,000 on his head. Now aside from all that, a lot of people think that a RICO was coming for CMG based on what WAC 100 said when Cornelius Smith got on the stand and stated that money was provided from CMG, not just Big Jook, but CMG as a whole, to pay for these guys' attorneys, meaning that CMG or somebody from CMG had a hand in trying to help these guys get off this case when it comes to the demise of young Dolph. Now most people think that just because Big Jook was accused of putting a bag on young Dolph's head, that everything stops there. However, it was pretty interesting because Cornelius Smith didn't mention Big Jook's name. He said CMG, which means that it may have came from somewhere else and not Big Jook, because if it came from Big Jook, what would have hurt for him to just say, well, Big Jook offered to pay for the lawyers? He already cooperated and told them everything they needed to know about Big Jook when it came to putting money on Dolph's head. So why would it be so hard for him to just say, well, Jook was the one that paid for the lawyers too, or off? Instead, that's not how it went. But instead, that's not what happened, which may lead to investigators willing to investigate who else may have had a hand in providing money for these guys' attorneys. Of course, all fingers are being pointed at Yo Gotti because he's the other face when it comes to CMG, not to mention his beef with young Dolph has been very public throughout the years. Now it also didn't help at the fact that after the verdict was read and Straight Drop aka Justin Johnson received his time with life with no possibility of parole, he took to Instagram with a very cryptic message, as he would say, quote, "These N-words taking criminal responsibility. I'm taking street responsibility regardless. I'm forever the biggest. They could throw away the keys before I ever eat the cheese." Now of course the cheese part is in correlation to snitching or ratting, and he's letting it be known that before he ever say anything, he's going to take his secrets to the grave. This tells us that he knows something, but he's just not talking like Cornelius, and maybe what he knows can involve a little more people than Big Jook, a part of CMG. Now before we get into this hit list and the bounties that was placed on these guys' heads, I want to tell y'all this. It's a lot that was left out within this trial, so it is a possibility that a RICO charge may be abroad, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. One of the main things that didn't make sense to me was the fact that when everything first happened, they tried to tell us that the reason young Dolph was caught was because they had a video of him leaving a gas station, and that's how they was able to get his location and follow him. But fast forward to the trial, Cornelius told us that him and Straight Drop was sitting at the light and they seen a car go past that they knew was young Dolph due to the distinctive camo wraps, and that's when they followed him to Makita's and everything took place there. But if you knew anything about young Dolph, I think he was smart enough to know that the camo wraps was very distinctive, and if he was riding around Memphis just carelessly like that, he either had protection or some way, somehow he was protected. So when you hear that they were just following him and he didn't notice that he was being tailed all the way to Makita's cookie shop and they was able to just catch him lacking like that, something don't sound right. But we'll get into all that. Before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now, a court document from Young Dolph's case has proved that bounties was placed on PRE artists such as Glock, Big Moochie Grape, and others that total to up to $225,000. Now, there's no telling where this court document came from, but it's been going viral and it shows that all this money was placed on separate PRE artists, and it reads as, quote, $100,000 for Adolph Thornton, aka Young Dolph, $50,000 for Markevius Cathy, aka Glock, $50,000 for Terrence Baker, aka PRE Woo, $5,000 for Zequilius Davenport, aka Moochie Grape, and $20,000 for Snoop Bands, and his name is unknown at this time. That was kind of crazy, because if I was Big Moochie Grape, I'll be a little insulted by this. Everybody got these high amounts, and he's the only one that they felt was worth $5,000. You know, and then these guys' names is pretty crazy. Key Glock name is Markevius, and Moochie Grape's name is Zequilius, or Zequilius, I don't know. But on a serious note, y'all, this tells us that it's a lot more into this whole case, and I don't think that it's just gonna stop with Big Jook being unalive. Now, here's something interesting that not a lot of people is bringing to the forefront, and maybe it's because a lot of people haven't been following this case since the beginning. This don't just stop with Big Jook, and it just don't stop with Cornelius and Straight Drop. For the same reasons that we are tying Straight Drop and Cornelius to Big Jook, and it's already been said that he's the one that put the bounty on not just Young Dolph, but these other members as well, and it's also been proven that Big Jook has ties to Makita's cookie shop also. Now here's a theory. If Big Jook put a hit out on Young Dolph, like we already know, and if he had ties to the cookie shop, who's to say that someone allegedly from the cookie shop didn't have a hand in setting Dolph up as well to collect on a $100,000 bounty? Maybe this is why Cornelius and Straight Drop weren't able to receive their expected amount also, due to the money having to go a few ways. Now keep in mind, this is just a theory, it's all alleged, but like I continue to tell y'all, it's a lot to this Young Dolph case that hasn't been put out there, and who knows why. It can be that another investigation is ongoing, it could be due to a RICO possibly, who knows. We're just trying to make sense of it all as more information unfolds. As of right now, those are the alleged bounties that was placed on not just Young Dolph, but Key Glock, Big Moochie Grape, Snoop Bands, and PRE Woo, according to the court document. Now, we don't know if these bounties still stand or not, being that Big Jook isn't here, because according to Cornelius Smith, someone from CMG has still been paying for these lawyers. So y'all jump in the comments and let us know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.